In the world of trucking, a space long dominated by men, few women have been able to carve out a lasting place. But Lisa Kelly stands as an extraordinary exception. Her journey is not just one of determination, but of sheer fearlessness. Backed by an unshakable work ethic that defied the countless roadblocks set up by those who believed, ambitious women had no place in the driver's seat. For more than a decade, Lisa Kelly braved some of the most treacherous frozen highways on Earth, earning the well-deserved title of Queen of the Ice Roads. Those who doubted her strength or questioned whether a woman could survive Alaska's deadly ice trucking routes were forced to watch her conquer unforgiving blizzards, survive mechanical breakdowns in the middle of nowhere, and push through temperatures so brutal they could freeze a man into what she once described as ice skeletons. Over time, whispers and rumors began swirling around the legendary woman. And now, at the age of 52, Lisa Kelly is finally addressing those whispers, sharing a story that may just turn skeptics into lifelong fans. Lisa Kelly was born on December 8, 1980, in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Her parents could never have imagined that the daughter they welcomed into the world would one day challenge gender expectations and inspire millions. Raised in an industrial Midwestern city known more for its factories and hospitals than adventure, Lisa seemed destined for a conventional life. Both of her parents worked in the medical field, and naturally, there was an expectation that she would follow their path. But Lisa had other plans. Although she has one sibling, she has carefully kept much of her family life private, making sure to shield them from the spotlight once fame found her. When Lisa was 6 years old, her family relocated to a small farm in Sterling, Alaska. That move would completely reshape her outlook on life. The shift from suburban Michigan to the rugged landscapes of Alaska was not easy, but it planted in her the seeds of independence and resilience. Growing up on a farm in the harsh Alaskan climate during the 1980s and early 1990s gave Lisa a childhood that looked nothing like that of the average American kid. Instead of malls and neighborhood playgrounds, she had endless fields, animals to care for, and chores that changed with the seasons. The demanding environment toughened her spirit, and as the years passed, Lisa realized she was not meant for a desk job or the predictable life of a 9-to-5 worker. She thrived outdoors, loved working with her hands, and found excitement in every challenge the farm presented. Lisa attended Utica Community School in Alaska, where the education combined academic lessons with practical skills necessary for surviving in such a demanding environment. Even as a child, her adventurous nature was obvious. She loved motocross, developed a fascination with mechanical equipment, and displayed a competitive edge that couldn't be ignored. Though her interest in machines was initially brushed aside, it hinted at the kind of woman she was becoming, someone who loved handling powerful equipment and wasn't afraid of pushing herself to extremes. After high school, Lisa returned to Grand Rapids for college and enrolled at Cornerstone University, a private evangelical Christian school. But her stay was short-lived, just one semester. She realized quickly that a traditional classroom wasn't for her. Cornerstone could not nurture her adventurous spirit or her professional aspirations. Walking away from college was not a failure for Lisa. It was an awakening. She knew she wasn't built for the conventional route. She needed something bigger, something that matched her larger-than-life spirit. Determined to figure things out, Lisa started taking on practical jobs. She worked as a school bus driver, which gave her invaluable experience handling large vehicles under Alaska's tough conditions, where safety and punctuality were non-negotiable. Later, she worked at gas stations, where she quietly observed truck drivers, studying how they maintained their rigs, how they handled long routes, and how they adapted when bad weather forced them to change course. These jobs may have seemed small at the time. They were shaping Lisa into the trucker she would become. In 2008, Lisa married Travis Kelly, an Alaskan native she had dated for 4 years. Their relationship blossomed during the early stages of her career, providing her with a sense of stability while she transitioned from odd jobs to serious trucking. Their marriage also rooted Lisa more deeply in Alaskan culture. While the couple chose not to have children, that decision gave Lisa the freedom to commit fully to the demanding schedule of ice road trucking, a profession that often kept her away from home for months. During the brutal Alaskan winters. By the time she joined the show Ice Road Truckers, Lisa was already seasoned. Ice road trucking is no ordinary job. It's a dangerous profession that pushes drivers to the edge. Truckers haul cargo across temporary roads built on frozen rivers, lakes, and seas, roads that vanish when the ice melts. Driving in these conditions means risking everything: the threat of cracking ice, the constant danger of temperatures plunging to minus 45 degrees Celsius, and the harsh reality that medical help is often hours or even days away. Only the strongest survive, both physically and mentally. Lisa, without even realizing it, had been preparing her whole life for this role. Her childhood in Alaska had toughened her body, and her competitive spirit fueled her mind before television found her. Lisa was already working for Carlisle Transportation, one of Alaska's biggest trucking companies, where she hauled freight across the most treacherous routes in the state. When Ice Road Truckers first aired in 2007, it focused exclusively on Canadian ice roads. But by season 3, the producers expanded to Alaska's Dalton Highway. In their search for drivers with proven experience, Lisa's name kept coming up. Through her work at Carlisle, she had built a reputation as someone who could handle oversized loads with skill and composure. Without ever attending a casting call, Lisa Kelly joined the show, and history was made as the first and only female driver on Ice Road Truckers in those early seasons. Lisa broke barriers in real time. Her very presence challenged stereotypes in a male-dominated field. Viewers were drawn not to manufactured drama, but to her authenticity. She was calm under pressure, skilled behind the wheel, and fearless in the face of danger. Audiences loved watching her solve impossible problems, fix mechanical breakdowns on her own, and complete deliveries when others thought it couldn't be done. Her popularity soared, not just because she was the woman trucker, but because she was damn good at what she did. Her fame quickly spread beyond the show. Lisa appeared on talk shows, represented the trucking industry at events, and became a spokesperson for women in non-traditional careers. But with the spotlight came challenges. Within the trucking industry, many doubted her abilities. Male drivers openly questioned whether she could manage breakdowns in sub-zero temperatures, haul heavy cargo, or endure the isolation of weeks on dangerous routes. On television, her work was scrutinized more harshly than her male counterparts. Every decision she made was judged under a microscope by both cast members and viewers, many of whom were waiting for her to fail. This constant skepticism took its toll, even on her personal life. The intense filming schedule of Ice Road Truckers, combined with the grueling demands of her job, strained her marriage to Travis. The couple had to endure long absences and the loss of privacy. At one point, the pressure became so overwhelming that Lisa stepped away from the show during season 6. She returned later, stronger and more focused, and continued through season 11, solidifying her place as one of the show's most beloved stars. Yet with her fame came rumors. Critics questioned her credentials, claiming she had been cast more for her looks than her skills. They pointed to her brief college education and her background as a school bus driver, dismissing her as unqualified for ice road trucking. These criticisms ignored the reality that Lisa Kelly had spent years building her career, earning her place on those frozen highways long before cameras started rolling. The fact that she didn't look like the stereotype of an ice road trucker, an older man with decades of experience, etched into his face, only fueled the gossip. But Lisa never needed to prove her worth through words. She let her record speak for itself, delivering load after load through conditions that could break even the toughest of men. Online forums and trucking industry publications often debated Lisa Kelly's true abilities. Many questioned whether she had enough mechanical knowledge, the right level of winter driving experience, and the physical strength to handle the unforgiving conditions shown on television. Some critics even went as far as to suggest that her success was not built on independent expertise, but rather on support she received behind the scenes. Adding fuel to these doubts was the very format of reality television, which naturally raised suspicions. Viewers wondered if the dangerous situations were authentic or staged for dramatic effect, if the breakdowns were genuine or scripted, And if Lisa's calm responses in emergencies reflected real competence or prior knowledge of pre-planned scenarios, the suspicions didn't stop there. Even her load deliveries were questioned, with industry professionals speculating that some of the hauls looked unnecessarily dramatic or logistically unrealistic. Beyond her work, Lisa's personal life was also pulled into the spotlight. Her deliberate privacy about her family and off-camera activities left fans and critics convinced she was hiding something. Rumors swirled about her relationship with her husband, Travis Kelce, with speculation about marital struggles and possible family health problems. Her choice not to have children also became a source of gossip, with some critics accusing her of abandoning traditional family roles in favor of her career. This decision, along with her mysterious separation between personal and professional life, made her critics restless and only intensified their curiosity. Life after Ice Road. Truckers also brought its share of challenges. During off-seasons, rumors spread about Lisa's financial situation, her supposed need for other employment, and even whispers of hidden health problems. Each time one rumor faded, another quickly replaced it. Gossip within the trucking industry also focused on alleged conflicts with co-stars and producers. Many claimed other cast members resented the attention Lisa received from fans and the production team. While producers edited most disputes out of the final episodes, insiders suggested there were plenty of clashes behind the scenes. Her break after Season 5 fueled talk that she had fallen out of favor with the production. When she didn't return in Season 6, people speculated about contract disputes, disagreements over storylines, or demands for higher pay. Others believed the endless stress of reality TV had simply worn her down. The rumor mill continued endlessly. Stories emerged about disagreements over safety protocols, staged situations, and how Lisa represented professional drivers. For many, the very presence of a woman in such a male-dominated space felt almost like a glitch in the system. Lisa herself eventually spoke out about some of these claims. In a 2018 interview with Heavy Duty Trucking, she revealed that producers initially hired her as eye candy. She also admitted she wasn't paid during her first few years on the show, confirming the suspicions that the entertainment industry often exploits women. Over time, she fought for and secured better terms. Lisa also pushed back against the rumors questioning her qualifications. She stressed that her trucking experience was real and extensive before joining the show. She had worked with Carlisle Transportation and handled commercial driving assignments across Alaska, proof of her skill and competence. Later, she even launched her own company, Arctic Fox Trucking, further validating her authenticity and expertise. While she acknowledged that reality television sometimes involved staged elements or repeated takes, she firmly maintained that the challenges and dangers were real. She explained that long filming days, repeated scenarios, and selective editing were designed to improve the episodes, not manufacture fake drama. Editing, she said, condensed weeks of grueling work into short episodes that emphasized the most dramatic parts while leaving out the monotonous stretches. This created misleading impressions about ice road trucking. But Lisa insisted that most of the interactions and dangers happened in real time. She openly admitted that production techniques shaped how viewers perceived her, but the risks they faced were very real. By revealing this, Lisa exposed a larger truth about reality television. While it can exaggerate for entertainment, it still relies heavily on authentic experiences. Despite rumors, Lisa kept her private life guarded and may never address them fully. What remained clear, however, was her determination. Entering trucking required her to prove herself constantly, working twice as hard to pull her own weight and even compensate for others. Her struggles mirrored those faced by women in countless industries worldwide, where stereotypes and prejudices force them to prove their worth over and over again. Yet Lisa showed that skill and resilience mattered more than gender. Before Lisa's rise to fame, the trucking industry was heavily male. By 2016, out of roughly 3.5 million truck drivers in the U.S., only about 200,000 were women. Through her success on Ice Road Truckers, Lisa became a role model for women considering careers in transportation, engineering, and other specialized fields. She shifted perceptions in both the trucking industry and popular media. showing that qualifications and merit mattered more than gender or appearances. The show itself had a major cultural impact. Airing on the History Channel from 2007 to 2017, Ice Road Truckers featured numerous drivers navigating remote areas in Canada and Alaska. It brought mainstream visibility to a profession few Americans knew much about. While Lisa's calm responses and technical expertise gave audiences a glimpse into the real skills required for trucking, the editing also created misconceptions, sometimes making the job appear more glamorous or dangerous than it really was. Industry veterans worried that the show oversimplified the technical knowledge and preparation needed for the profession, misleading potential newcomers. At the same time, the program sparked important discussions. It raised awareness about infrastructure challenges in remote regions and highlighted the resilience of drivers who kept these areas supplied despite extreme conditions. Behind the scenes, producing the show came with staggering challenges. Crews filmed in Arctic conditions, braving the same deadly cold as the truckers. Equipment often failed. In the freezing weather, communication with executives was limited, and safety risks were constant. Camera teams needed survival gear and backup systems, all of which drove up production costs. Filming stretched across entire winter seasons instead of short bursts, making it far more expensive than typical reality shows. Despite the difficulties, the show's debut exceeded expectations, becoming one of History Channel's most successful programs. By its third season in 2009, it drew over 3.4 million viewers and became the most-watched original telecast in the network's history at the time. Its success even spawned a spin-off, IRT, Deadliest Roads, in which Lisa Kelly, Rick Jem, and Alex Debogorski tackled treacherous routes in India and South America. The original cast left behind varied legacies. Hugh Rowland, known as the Polar Bear, retired after an accident and started a construction business. Alex Debogorski continued trucking, while Rick Jem largely stepped out of the public eye. Tragically, Daryl Ward died in a plane crash, and Art Burke faced legal troubles with an arson conviction. Lisa, however, continued her trucking journey with Arctic Fox Trucking, remaining deeply tied to the industry. By 2017, significant shifts in the trucking world, including company closures and financial struggles, impacted Ice Road operations. Yet the History Channel planned a comeback for the series, with veterans like Lisa Kelly and Todd Dewey joining newcomers to face another season of brutal northern winters. For Lisa, the journey was never easy. She faced criticism, rumors, and enormous pressure, both as a trucker and as a woman breaking into a male-dominated world. But she never gave up. Her story is ultimately one of resilience, determination, and defying the odds, proving that true strength lies not just in skill, but in the courage to keep going when everything is stacked against you. The popularity of Ice Road Truckers didn't just make Lisa Kelly a household name. It transformed the way audiences viewed an entire profession. Before the show, trucking, especially in the remote and icy wilderness of Alaska and Canada, was rarely talked about in mainstream media. Truck drivers were seen as background figures, moving the world's goods but seldom recognized. The History Channel changed that by turning them into frontline characters, each with their own stories, struggles, and triumphs. Lisa stood out because she wasn't just another driver. She was breaking stereotypes every single day on screen. Her journey highlighted the grit required to succeed in a field dominated by men. Lisa explained many times that her place in trucking wasn't handed to her. It was earned through years of difficult assignments, long hours, and constant pressure to prove herself. She admitted that working in Alaska often meant fighting against not only the weather and road conditions, but also the preconceived notions of those who doubted her capabilities. The fact that she went on to build her own company, Arctic Fox Trucking, proved that her career went far beyond television fame. It was rooted in real experience. Still, with fame came consequences. Lisa's face was everywhere, but her privacy evaporated. Even small details about her life became sources of endless speculation. Her marriage, her choice not to have children, and her off-season activities were all twisted into gossip. Critics accused her of rejecting traditional family values. While fans debated whether she was struggling with health or financial issues, Lisa never bowed to these pressures. She continued to draw a clear line between her professional career and her personal world. That mystery, though, it's only added to her legend. The success of Ice Road Truckers also drew attention to the larger trucking community. Young women and aspiring drivers began to see Lisa as proof that there was room for them too. Her visibility created ripple effects in recruitment and representation across industries that had long been labeled men's work. She showed that anyone, regardless of gender, could thrive if given the opportunity and if they had the determination to keep going. But Ice Road Truckers was never only about one person. It was a program that required immense dedication behind the camera as well. The production crew, working alongside the drivers, braved bitter cold, failing equipment, and long hours in dangerous terrain. Their survival gear and backup systems became as critical as the trucks themselves. Every episode represented a battle not just for ratings, but for survival. This authenticity gave the show its edge and explained why millions of viewers stayed glued to their screens season after season as ratings climbed. Ice Road Truckers cemented its place as one of History Channel's biggest hits. Audiences were fascinated by the combination of danger, skill, and human perseverance. The spin-off series, IRT, Deadliest Roads, expanded this formula to international settings, testing drivers like Lisa in India and South America where roads were narrow, crowded, and deadly. These spin-offs only amplified the show's global reach and Lisa's growing influence. Even after the original series ended in 2017, the legacy of Ice Road Truckers endured. Industry insiders acknowledged that while the show was sometimes exaggerated for drama, it undeniably sparked a new appreciation for the trucking profession. It even drew government attention to infrastructure challenges in northern regions. At the same time, it created misconceptions, making some newcomers believe the job was more glamorous or more dangerous than it really was. That tension between entertainment and reality was the heart of the show, and Lisa Kelly was always caught in the middle of it. Now, with talk of the series returning for another season, fans wait eagerly to see if veterans like Lisa will continue the fight against the ice, snow, and impossible odds. Whether she's on television or not, her name has become inseparable from the story of Ice Road Truckers. Her journey is more than just entertainment. It's an enduring reminder that courage, determination, and authenticity can break through even the harshest environments. Lisa Kelly defied the odds, changed the industry's image, and inspired a generation. Her story proves that sometimes the most powerful journeys are not only about the roads we travel, but the barriers we break along the way.